YouTube, Tumblr, and Facebook. Hello there, my name is Midnight Strike 3625 here to continue my review of the Metal Gear Solid series with, actually, I believe it's the 5th entry in the series, Metal Gear Solid 3. Actually, it's not, but it is a prequel to all of them, having taken place in the Cold War era, with, instead of playing as Solid Snake, you play as Naked Snake, aka Big Boss. So this isn't just a clone you're playing as. This isn't just, you know, a pansy-ass, whatever you want to call Raiden. This is the real deal. This is Big Boss, the hardened, tough, war veteran soldier fighting his way to kill a defected soldier only known as the Boss. And she is actually right here on the cover. That's her right there. So, how does this game stack up to its predecessors? Well, let's just say it's a very unique game in that a lot of the game mechanics used in this game were used for the first time and never seen again, such as the elimination of rations as the sole health provider. You can still eat rations, but it's more of a stamina-based system this time. And you can eat the food that you get, you can kill animals and eat them, and shoot down, like, fruits, vegetables, stuff like that, hide in the grass, eat mushrooms, stuff like that. And certain mushrooms actually have the ability to make you fall asleep, if that's not weird enough already. But he doesn't really like mushrooms. Snake does not like mushrooms in this game. So, basically, this game is another awesome addition to the Metal Gear Solid franchise. And I gotta say, I mean, I really like this game. But as much as I like it, I kind of have to go with 2 on this one when comparing the two. I mean, in this one, it's a little bit easier to hide from the enemy, and instead of a full 60 frames a second, it runs at 30, or at least on this version, the PS2 version. But I am reviewing the originals, so it goes to 30 frames a second, and sometimes there's a lot of slowdown, especially when you're facing the Ocelot unit in place of the End, which is another thing. The unique boss battles are back. They're more unique this time around than they were in its predecessor, Metal Gear Solid 2. The boss battles are just absolutely phenomenal. They will blow your mind, and just the amount of sheer depth to the strategy and just the attention to detail that you have to put forth in order to beat some of these guys, especially the End, for some reason. And that's another thing. They're each named after an emotion: the End, the Sorrow, the Joy, which is the boss, actually, but her real name is the Joy, or that's what they call her in the Cobra unit. That's what it's called. So, the Pain, the Sorrow, the Joy, the Fury, and just all those guys. The End, which isn't really an emotion, but I guess it can convey one. It's the end. You're about to die. You're sad about that. I don't know. Something like that. But anyways, the End's boss battle has got to be one of my favorite boss battles in gaming, to be honest. I mean, I was a cheap little motherfucker and stopped and just killed the End before I even faced him, or just, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. Let me start off by saying that. There's a spot where he appears and you can shoot him right out of his wheelchair, and he'll just disappear into a puff of smoke, which you have to dodge, actually, because he'll come at you and his spirit will be angry at you. His spirit will attack you. Another way is during the boss battle, you can actually just shut your PS2 off and just wait a week, or just tinker with the clock settings and make it, you know, a week past. And I always thought, you know, this boss battle is going to be just hard. It's going to be hard. I'm not going to be able to beat it. I'm not even going to try. There's cheats. I'm just going to, you know, fly past. That was a mistake. I didn't play the boss battle in this till the Metal Gear Solid HD collection came around, in which case I decided, hey, you know what, why not? So I played it, beat the shit out of it, loved it, and it's just awesome. You have to look for his glare in his scope. So a lot of people think he doesn't show up on the thermal goggles, infrared, but he does, but that's kind of a cheap way to do it. So anyways, lots of insanely awesome boss battles, and just the graphical capacity of this game. I was blown away from start to finish. This is the first Metal Gear Solid game I ever played, and let me just tell you right now, it's the most beautiful game on the PlayStation 2, bar none. It is the Uncharted of its time. It came out in 2004, and the graphics still to this day blow me away. I mean, it stacks up to modern games, especially when it's in HD, with trophies. I actually like the style on this one better than the fourth one, so that's just me. But I will get more into that on my Metal Gear Solid 4 review, which will probably come in next couple weeks or something, as soon as I have a time to review it. Anyways, this game, another thing I wanted to talk about is its linearity. It's a little bit more linear and pathways in favor of the go around to repeat locations in the second one. But you know what? It doesn't really seem that non-linear, because a lot of places you go back to between cutscenes. Like in the Virtuous mission, it starts off like the tanker and the plant, except for the Virtuous mission is really short, and the Operation Snake Eater, the second part, is really long, so it's kind of like the tanker and plant. But the Virtuous mission is just like a brief setting. And then it quickly escalates into Operation Snake Eater when the boss defects and betrays you. But you will find out more about that. The use of Easter eggs is just as prevalent as in the first game, not as many as in the second one, because the second one was a little bit more flooded with Easter eggs. It was really sweet, really awesome in the second one. I love Easter eggs just in general in any game. This one didn't have as many of them, but it had one really big one in just the PS2 version. There was a game called Guy Savage. It was actually a PS2 game that was scrapped, and they never finished it. So hey, whatever, what the heck. Kojima decided to upload it and put it into this game when you fall asleep in the cell, actually, in a jail cell. You fall asleep and Snake will have a nightmare. It's known as Snake's Dream Sequence. And you actually get to play this unfinished product. And it's a really sweet integration, too, because it's in black and white, and it's just the atmosphere of it. I mean, I've never actually played it, but I've seen videos of it. I'm trying to get into the PS2 version more so that I can play it, but they took it out of the HD collection for some reason. I've seen videos of it, so I know it's there, and they still leave the dialogue in with the HD collection version right here. But overall, they took it out. So, lots of cool Easter eggs. Volgin, the bad guy in this one, is an even bigger pushover than Solidus. I think he's kind of a pansy compared to Solidus. I mean, he's a bit more hardcore, and there's a lot more emotion going on in this game. If Metal Gear Solid 2 here was a psychological mindfuck, this game just gets you emotionally. I mean, I almost broke out into tears during the ending of this game, Metal Gear Solid 3. It's just so gripping. It gets you. It's captivating. Just how they portray the emotions and everything that Snake is going through. You just feel for the guy. I mean, when he was getting tortured, this shows Big Boss, aka Naked Snake. He's called Snake throughout the entire game. You get the title of Big Boss at the end, but you see him go through a lot. You see how he loses his eye, and just the emotional, it's heavy. It's heavy emotionally, and really just all the themes that it goes through. Eva's another character, another really cool character that they kind of, she's basically the person who comes in and tries to tempt Snake, and just the integration of her character is really sweet too. It's just Snake as Big Boss. My only minor gripe with this game, with the Snake character, is he's kind of a little bit dense as to, or clueless as to whether or not he's being hit on. Solid Snake was a little bit more straightforward and would joke around with, say, Mei Ling or anything, or Meryl, but I know it's the same actor, and I know they have to have a little bit of a different personality, but he just seemed a little bit clueless to me. That's just my opinion on stuff. Like, he's more of a fighter. He's not really, he's more awkward in relationships, and I think maybe that's probably what they were going for in his personality traits, so I can't really say that that's a bad thing, but it felt really wooden in certain spots. But other than that, it's a Metal Gear Solid game. Dialogue is perfect, gameplay is perfect, a little bit of slowdown with the graphics, with the frames per second in the gameplay, but nothing too bad, nothing too horrible. If you really want to get this game right here, I would get the HD collection, because it actually fixes the problem with the slowdown and brings it up to a full 60 frames. Amazing. Amazing game. Amazing title. I love it. 10 out of 10. It's perfect. I mean, I like the second one, although I like the second one a little bit better right here, Metal Gear Solid 2, because, I mean, this one gets up there too. This one's up there. This is my second favorite video game in existence. So, This is more of a psychological twist, and it has like a million twists all in one. And this one just has one huge bomb that it just drops on you in the end. This one is a little bit more non-linear, and it makes you like backtrack a lot and go around in the same place, much like the first one here. I have that too. It's the Essential Collection, so much like the first one. But Metal Gear Solid 3 just has you basically going here, going to in a straight line practically. It's really cool. It has you just going from place to place, basically in the same just linear path. But there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I've played games like that before. I mean, it's awesome. This game will literally blow your mind. I love it. So, basically, I think that's all I really have to say. I mean, there's an HD collection out. Get it. If you can get the PS2 version for cheaper, I suggest going that route, because it does still have the Guy Savage Easter egg. So if you want to experience that Easter egg, you would have to go for the PS2 version. So I believe that's all I have to say. So good game, 10 out of 10. And stay tuned for my answering your questions. I posted a Q&A before. So yeah, this is Midnight Strike 3625. Thank you very much. Keep calm and rock on.